growing microgreens, all it means is very, very small plants. So it's seedlings that haven't reached their full plant size, and you just basically chop them and eat them raw. Now, the best way to eat them is raw. What happens is they're packed full of nutrients and vitamins, and they just, once you've cut them, they keep coming back. So you can cook them about 3 times, or if you want to let them grow on to be bigger plants, you can let them grow on to be bigger plants. But it's just like, it's like baby potatoes or baby corn. They're fresh, they're little, but the best thing about them is that they keep coming back. The ultimate microgreens, that's a new word, but I'm sure a lot of people remember microgreens, although they know them as cress. We used to grow these on the windowsill when we were kids. It's your classic microgreens. And egg and cress, there's a reason for egg and cress sandwiches, is that it's helps you digest your egg. So I don't know if you can remember growing them. It's just some tissue, and you can use any container, any sauce or anything like that, but with no holes in the bottom, because we're trying to keep the moisture in. So I'm using this tub. I'm just going to wet the tissue, and not too wet so that it's like, swimming in water, but a little bit so that I can see all the tissue is sort of soaked. And you just keep that level of moisture throughout until they start growing. And it's so simple. I'm just going to sprinkle a few on the top. I'm not going to have huge clumps next to each other, just so that they've got a little bit of space to spread out. And I'm going to just press them in so that they're all in contact with the tissue. And then the best thing to do is to put a lid on it, not this lid. You need a lid that lets light through it. And when they start popping up, then you just take the lid off. When they get to be about that big, you just snip them, and then they'll grow back again. So you get about 3 snippings of those. But you can keep sowing them in different tubs, saucers, anything like that. You can just keep, that helps the moisture as well. So you can have a supply of them all year round. So that's your classic microgreen, but you can actually do it with any seeds, such as that one's a cress. That's a different cress. This is mustard, cabbage. Although they get to a big size, you can eat them like this big. So cauliflower, lettuce, basil, fennel, all sorts of different vegetables. If you can't buy a packet of seeds, if you haven't got access to that, we're going to do some from out of the cupboard. So I've got some cumin, some chia seeds, and some dried peas, and I've got some fenugreek and coriander. So we're going to do them. Cress was on the tissue paper, but we're going to do these in soil, all the rest of them. So we've got some soil, it's nice and warm. We've got a tray with holes in, or you can do your recycling. This is your perfect container for growing things in, because it's already got your holes in it. We've got recycled plants from plant pots from last year, or you can make a nice little container that just sits easily on your windowsill from a juice carton. So you can either rest your toilet rolls, anything you can grow things in there, and plant your things in there, or you can poke some holes in it and use this as your actual plant pot. So I'm going to fill up my plant pot This is warmed up soil. It's been inside. It's not straight from the shop when it tends to be quite cold. So I brought it inside for a few days, and you can feel it's nice and warm. So you plant seeds, you're going to like that. And then what I've got, I'm going to do some peas. So you can do different seeds in different ones. Or you can do a mixture, and you can plant them really close together because you're going to harvest them small. They don't need the room. So I'm just going to scatter a few fenugreeks and coriander, and I think that's some spinach as well. I'm going to put in a bit of everything. As you can see, some are big, some are small. So what's going to happen is a cumin. I'm going to get a mixture. When I cut, I'm making my own salad basically. When I cut these, they're all going to mix up together and go into my salad, so I'm going to eat them raw. But because the pea seeds are big, I'm going to press them down. They need to be covered in a bit more soil than all the little seeds. So I'm going to press them into the soil, and then I'm just going to put in a sprinkling of soil over the top. So all the seeds are covered. Now the soil, it does feel nice and damp. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give it a gentle watering. Just a trickle of water. I'm going to keep it nice and damp. I could keep the cress nice and damp. And what you can do, you can use these as a mini greenhouse. So you can let the seeds pop up. And when they start popping up, you take them off and you snip them, put them in your salad. Packed full of nutrients and vitamins.